Okay, so this is Thursday the 13th, and I just wanted to talk. I don't know if you guys saw my video that I did.
I
And
saw you posted it. I didn't watch it yet, but I will.
that's fine, because okay, so what happened was, she's fine. I've been talking to a bunch of different coaches on the team who all are going through the summer slump,
Hmm.
which is totally normal. There's seasons, much like, I mean, if you're selling retail products, it's seasonal.
Right.
There's high times, there's low times, and right now is one of those low times because what happened is, excuse me, people, it's the end of the summer and that motivation to like look great in a bikini or get on vacation or whatever is gone. They've already had that moment of like, crap, this is
Right.
what I look like in my bikini.
Yeah.
And you want to go down that way? I don't know what you want. So there's not really a big push, so it's a little bit harder. That's why we do Team Cup in August, to help coaches and Beachbody kind of, build up momentum again. So in those times where it's a little bit harder and you need to, work a little harder, it's very common where coaches get discouraged.
Yeah.
And you'll see these are times where coaches, quit, which is something that I hope never happens with any of my coaches, that you get discouraged and quit. I know things happen and whatever, but so I just wanted to take today to kind of talk about your attitude, how important it is, because I didn't really realize this, and I was watching in doing my midnight training research last night. I was watching a video by Anita Myron about attitude, and I was like, wow, like I think these things, but I don't always do it. I don't always realize it in the moment. So if you are going to, sit down during your power hour or whenever it is that you decide that you want to, follow up with people or talk to people or invite people, whatever it is, do your real like business building activities. She calls it a gut check, which I thought was kind of cool, like check your gut. How are you feeling at the moment? And this is something that I definitely struggle with. Like if you're stressed out, if it's the end of the month and you're like, oh my God, I need to hit Success Club. I am 1 point away from Success Club, or I really want to make a sale by the end of the week. It's Wednesday night or something. You have that stress. Or like me, sometimes Austin comes home from work late and I'm just like up to here with the day. And I log on when he comes home to try and talk to people. And I'm just like pissed at life for no reason. And I talk to people and like that is conveyed. Even though we're not seeing face to face, even though I think I can fake it and I can talk to them and be super sweet and nice and fun, like I'll go back and read my messages and I'm like, wow, I was miserable last night. And so it's really, Valley Girl, careful. It's really important to do that gut check to see, what's going on. Because if you have that feeling of stress and anxiety or anger or whatever, honestly, it comes off as desperation. You come off as salesy. And so this is what I'm noticing. Why am I so dark? Am I really dark?
A little bit, not too bad. So.
Anyway,
doesn't matter. I'm the only one that can see you. Anyway,
well, now I'm recording, so they'll all be able to see it later.
Oh, that's true.
Like, okay, she might as well just have video phone this in. But anyway, so it's just really important to check that. Oh, because it comes off as like desperation and salesy. And I hate that. I hate being salesy. I try so hard to not be, and to be personal, and to make this like friendships with people before, the talk of money is ever even there. But when I'm feeling this way and I get that way, like in July, I was like, oh my God, am I going to hit Success Club? Because it was pretty slow for me. And the last couple of days, I was like desperate. I felt, and I was reaching out to people, and the way I was talking, it was just like desperate and weird. So it's just really important to check that and to know, be in the right mindset and to be, it can wait. If you're gonna take the time to talk to someone and not be in the right mindset, you might as well not, because you're gonna start it off on the wrong foot. You're gonna make them feel uncomfortable, and it's just gonna be, you know, bad news from the get-go. So that's kind of like the first portion of this whole attitude kind of thing that I mentioned. But another part that kind of goes with this is your attitude for yourself, which is what I posted about a little bit in the Team Cup page, and I posted video I shared with the team on the team page the other day of I can't even remember his name, but he was like a preacher or something. I don't know. It was shared with me, and I'm not big on like religious things, but I listened to it like 4 times because I was like, this is so important. And it was crazy because, so I made the video for you guys today on Team Cup talking about, you know, don't compare yourself to other people. Like, you have to do your journey. You have to do it your way and figure out what works for you. Use people as motivation. And I thought it was great. And then I ended that call, I posted it, or that video, I posted it. And literally within the hour, I was getting on my newsfeed tons of coaches who are similar ranks as me, posting about how their team's doing incredible and they're moving up in the team. One girl who was actually in the diamond training with me in May, there's like a corporate diamond training. Once you go diamond, you get invited to this. It's not mandatory, but I definitely suggest everyone does it. And she was in it with me. And this is where I found out about Zoom. It's really small. There was like 5 or 10 of us. And every week for an hour, you log in, and the corporate sales manager talks to you and teaches you and gives you lessons. So this girl was there with me, and we kind of like build that rapport. And then today I see that she's top 100 in the company. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, why? I want to be top 100. What the hell is she doing different? Because I know for a fact I went Star Diamond before her. So what is she doing different? And my brain was like exploding. And I was just so mad. And I was so beating myself up. And all day, up until like a little while ago, I was talking to Austin about it. And he was like, what are you talking about? Who are you? Because like I always tell people, don't compare yourself. You know, you don't know the people's journey that they went through to get there. And here I am, like pot calling the kettle black, if I ever heard it, saw it. And it's hard. So I understand that it's hard. And, you know, people might run a faster race than you. She has been a coach for years. I haven't even been a coach a year. So I don't know what it took those years for her to get where she is now. I don't know, because I'm not there yet. And it's unfair of me. It's unfair for me to put that pressure on her, even though I'm not actually putting pressure on her. The whole situation is unfair for me to compare us, because we're 2 separate people and 2 separate organizations and 2 separate beliefs and 2 separate everything. And so I did not anticipate doing a call on this today, but I was genuinely pretty bummed and fairly like distraught, I guess was a good word. I couldn't function. We were supposed to go out to dinner tonight, and I was like, I don't want to go out to dinner. I was so miserable. I haven't even, like, Beachbody sends us our team rankings every month, and normally we get it between the 10th and 12th. I have been refreshing my email like a mad person for the last 72 hours trying to get this email. I still haven't got it. I've officially given up, and I'm just going to wait. Whatever happens, happens. It doesn't matter if we're number 200, if we're number 300. I mean, it matters. It's great and everything, but it's not going to be the end of the world. And so for me, I need to realize that, because I keep putting so much pressure on these numbers and the ranks. And today was the final day to qualify for the Star Diamond bonus, the quarterly bonus, which is a pretty big deal. You have to be 2-star to do so, and so my goal was to be 2-star by today, and I did not do what I was supposed to do to get there. And so all day I was moping around and like so mad, and I was like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this? Why? And all these things. Again, my brain was like, oh look, I'm bright. My brain was like, blah, and like vomiting all over myself. And then I was like, okay, I just spent it's 9:20 right now. I spent pretty much the entire day having a pity party for myself about why I didn't get where I wanted to be. And where did you find that? A tampon. Where'd you find that? Can I have that? Hold on. Thank you. How about you take this $20 bill? No. Okay, so anyway, I wasted so much of the day moping about it and not being productive and just comparing myself to everyone. After that happened with that girl, I found myself checking other coaches' Facebook pages to see how they were doing. Like, lunatic. And I just, not even lunatic, because everybody does it, and I totally understand. And I just felt like I wasn't practicing what I was preaching, first of all. But also, I want you guys to know that these things happen and that you may be let down. Evelyn always, and I talk about it all the time because she's like me, where we get super excited and super motivated, and then something bad happens and it's like, phew, I hate Beachbody. Not really, but being excessive, you know, and we call it the emotional roller coaster. You're like, oh my God, someone's going to buy a challenge pack. Wait, they're not. Oh wait, yes they are. Oh wait, they're not. And it's like that up and down is just so volatile.
I do that, yeah.
Yeah, because you have that passion.
Yeah.
Which is important. Like I want everyone on our team to have that passion and to feel it, and to the ability to feel something like that is a big deal, because it shows that you care. It's not just like, oh, okay, they're not getting it. Like what's that?
I was gonna say that the other day when I watched the Amy Silverman video about the 50 no's or whatever, how, you know, I feel like we get so caught up in the Success Club points, and she's like, it doesn't always matter about that, you know, and she was saying how, you watched it, so you know, but it's true, because I feel like I'm like, I want to at least get Success Club 5, you know, it's okay if I don't, but.
Totally. Like, a goal is not a means to an end.
Yeah.
The goal is a goal. You set it. If you don't hit it, then you have to reevaluate. That's what I'm doing. This is what I'm trying to do now. I set a goal. I wanted to be 2-star by whatever date, which is today, the 13th. And I didn't hit it. So instead of moping and wasting my day doing nothing productive, I need to reevaluate what I did. I'm like reiterating the video that I shot for you guys for Team Cup. I just wasn't taking my own advice. I mean, going back and saying, okay, well, this is what I wanted to do. I didn't do it. So what could I have done differently, and how can I perform better in the future? That's what's important, because, no, what are you doing? If you don't look at where you come from, and you don't look at what worked and what didn't work, you're not going to know what's going to work in the future.
Right.
And so the 50 no's is a great video, and it's short, I like, because it's like 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's quick.
Yes.
I watched that, and then I want to watch the Mindy one. I'm like, oh my God, this is almost an hour. I fell asleep watching it. I was like, I'll watch the rest.
I'll post, honestly, she reads a list. She doesn't talk, she just reads off of a list. I'll post the list because it's much easier. Great list. I took so many pointers off of it. Like, I'm doing a couple of them now. I have to hire a virtual assistant, which she recommended, and I was so scared to do. I've heard people doing that before, and I was like, no freaking way that I'm doing that, paying someone to do stuff that I can do. And now I'm like, please help me organize my life, take something off my hands. And she just made it make sense to me. So I definitely want to reiterate that for you guys, because at some point it's going to happen where you're going to be like where I'm at, kind of like it's too much. There's too much busy work that I can't focus on what I'm good at and what I need to be doing. And so that was a great video, because I learned a lot on that. But the 50 no's, it's like, it's all about perspective. And we say it all the time. You know, if someone says no to buying a challenge pack, I genuinely, anymore, I used to in the beginning, but I don't get upset. I'm just like, okay, you know, to be honest, most of the time, within 6 months, they come back.
Yeah. Most
of the time. I can't think of too many people that were like, absolutely not, if you're retarded, I'm not, or I'm a bad word, but you're stupid, I'm never dealing with you again, like usually they come back, even if they were kind of negative in the beginning. But even if they don't, you know, whatever. I was a waitress for most of my life. If someone said, no, I don't want coffee and dessert, I wasn't crying in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your check. And so I think that that's an important analogy to think of when you get, you know, kind of like let down by a challenger. But for me, the goals that we're setting for ourselves are getting bigger. You know, your first goal is like, I want to sell a challenge pack. And then it's, I want to hit Success Club 5. I want to be Emerald. And then it goes to bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, I guess this is my first like let down in a big way, because that, like I was saying, that quarterly bonus, I don't even know what it was. It could have been $2, but for me, it was like, I wanted to do it. I set it for myself, and I didn't work to get there. I didn't do this. I didn't, you know, from January to May, I was like on it all the time and maxing out Success Club points and maxing out recruiting. And I kind of burned out a little bit, and I wanted to take a little bit of a slow time. I focused on, you know, grooming coaches and trying to put together stuff for challenge groups and things like that, and maybe less on the building the fundamentals of what you're really supposed to be doing. The 3 vital behaviors. I mean, I pretty much, for a while, for a whole month, I didn't work out, so that one was out the window. I definitely drank my shakes. Personal development, fairly good, but the inviting, not so much. The inviting for the coaching opportunity, not so much. And so that's what, Bella, no. Come here. She's ripping a picture frame off the wall. That is where I can go back and say, okay, this is what I need to work on. This is what I need to do to get where I want to be. And I know that everybody has different goals. And I know that not everybody's goals are anywhere remotely near mine or each other's or anything like that. But Beachbody, or not Beachbody, there's times where, you know, you're going to get let down, or someone else is going to let you down or something. And I think it's just important to what are you doing? Not let it, like me today, kind of like ruin things. But also just the comparing that I was doing is so not beneficial. Like, what does that do for you? I'm comparing my business center that I run my way, that I didn't have too much training on how to do it. I kind of learned by failure. You want to get up? Okay, here. So go. I learned by trial and error, not failure. I'm comparing it to people that I have no idea how many years they've been in the business, how much I don't know anything. I don't know anything about their business, and yet I'm comparing it to them. So it's just not fair of me to do that for myself or for you guys or anything. So there was a picture that I wish I don't know if it's on my phone. Nikki Whiting, she's a coach, and she is the Beatnik Dynasty she founded. Great coach. She did a really good, I don't know if you've heard it, but she did a really good national wake-up call I would recommend you guys listen to. Anyway, she posted something a while back that resonated with me then, enough for me to save it on my phone, and now I just can't stop thinking about it. It was a picture, and it was like, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Because it's so true. And I get it all the time. You know, I did it. I messaged another coach who, this is very terrible of me. I liked the way that this coach posted her things and ran her Facebook. She's now in the top 10 for the first year. And I asked her if I could switch to have her as my upline. And she responded, and this was like a couple of weeks, I think, into it, because I felt like I wasn't getting, you know, the training that I deserved. I wasn't getting this or getting that. She responded, and she was like, you know, we all have the same training. It's all in our back office. She's like, what I do in your upline, there's people who don't have an upline. We have Cindy on our team whose upline is a discount coach. She's not actively working the business at all. So it doesn't matter who your upline is. It doesn't matter what your training was, because we all have the same training. I'm holding a diaper. We all have everything the same. It's what you do with it and how much time you're willing to invest to utilize it that's going to get you where you want to go, and applying it obviously to whichever goals you may have. But that image of the quote, "Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20" is just so true, because I have coaches on our team. I have coaches, new coaches, not on Team Ignite Your Life, who message me all the time saying, similar to, and I can feel for them because it's similar to what I said to her. It was Bonnie Engel. I don't know if anyone follows her, but she's like number 7 now. I reached out to her, and when people reach out to me, I'm nowhere near, as top or as crazy good as she is, or any of the crazy good coaches. But people ask me questions, and I'm like, this took me a long time. I started out and I would compare, just like I did today. I would compare myself to other coaches, and I'd be like, this person posted their comment, picture, status, whatever, literally 3 minutes ago, and they have over 100 likes. And I posted this 3 hours ago and nobody is looking at it. What the hell? And I was so frustrated because I'm like, what is going on? And I truly felt like it's like your insecurities start to eat at you, and you think, okay, like, I'm not, like I said in the video, I'm not thin enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough to run this business, I don't get it, I'm not getting it. And there were so many times that I wanted to stop, and I wanted to just be like, you know what, I was better as a challenger, or I'm better just doing it on my own. And I'm so incredibly glad that I didn't stop. Not even finances related, but the amount of people that I've helped since then, like, may not have ever been helped. And the people that I've met, you guys, like, I would have never met you guys. Kristen, I think you're the only one I've actually met. But I never would have met you, and I would never have decided to work on me if it wasn't for this. Like, personal development is so important, because not just for growing your business, but for learning about yourself, learning what you need to do to grow your business, but to grow yourself. Because I was very insecure at first, and I still have insecurities, absolutely. It's why today I did what I did. And I definitely do. But at first it was worse, and it was so much worse, and I didn't know how to handle that. Like, if I have insecurities now, I tried to handle them better. Where in the beginning I didn't necessarily know what to do, and I would delete posts because I was embarrassed of the lack of anything. It was like I was talking to myself. It was like I was writing in a diary for no one to see, when my purpose was just to share. I just wanted people to be like, my whole thing was I wanted people to know that they could do this too. Not that I could sell you something and you can do it with me. It was just, if I can do this, you can do this. And the only thing that changed was time and consistency. And so delving into personal development and really working on, the whole go for no type of thing. Like, a no isn't a no. It's not a personal attack against you if someone says no. It's not a personal problem. Well, hi, how are you doing? If you don't reach a goal, or you don't make, whatever amount you were anticipating this week or something like that, it's not you, or it could be you, but you just want to think of how you can go about changing it and what you can do to improve upon yourself, which is going to improve every facet of your business. It's going to improve upon how many people are gravitating towards you. It's going to improve upon how many people you reach out to, because you're going to be more confident, and you're going to say, you know what, I can reach out to more people today, or whatever it is. And it's going to, in turn, benefit your business a lot. I don't know if you guys truly understand how much this business can do for you financially. I talk about, and I've been talking about, like, the internal benefits and the growth and all of that. And I can't say one's more important than the other by any means. Like some people might say like, oh, the money, like this is a job, we got to make money. Of course. But for me personally, I think that the growth that I have experienced at times certainly outweighs the money. So it's very difficult for me to put those like on a weighted balance scale. But I don't know if you know what's possible. And so I just hope that you guys continue with it. You don't let obstacles get in your way. You be consistent, because that is the only thing that is going to help your business is consistency. I failed in that consistency aspect of certain parts of my business, and I'm seeing the repercussions of that now, the consequences. I didn't hit my goals because I was not consistent in what I should have been doing. I was consistent in making numbers up, but 2/3 of what I should have been doing. And that 1/3 was really, really what I needed to do to hit my goals. I shouldn't say really what I needed to do, because it's all encompassing. It's a holistic thing you need to be doing to be consistent. And like I said, doing that gut check and just making sure that you are in the right mindset, that we're not happy-go-lucky all the time. I'm not. I get down in the dumps all the time. Not all the time, but I get down in the dumps sometimes. I get overwhelmed a lot. I don't know if people always tell me like, you have all your shit together. You just are this. I'm like, do you know me? Because I am a hot freaking mess. Minus the hot, except that I'm probably sweating half the time. I am crazy, messy, not messy, but like just jumbled all the time. And so much so that I don't even remember what I was saying. It's just really important to, what was I saying? Be consistent. I don't know. Yeah. Attitude, gut check. I should have wrote things down. See, this is why I'm a lunatic. But long story short, just do that gut check. For those of you that did miss what I was talking about, the gut check is when you sit down to do your power hour or invite, or essentially the communicating with people. Just want to make sure you're in a good mindset. It doesn't have to be perfectly happy and excited and wonderful and everything's great all the time, because that's not real life. But like I was saying, if you're super stressed out, if you're, pushing crazy hard to hit Success Club and make that final sale before the end of the month or the end of the week, whatever it is, that's going to convey in your conversations with who you're talking to. So just make sure that you're in it for the right reasons. Take the money, take the Success Club points, the numbers, take all the numbers out. The only numbers you want to think about are how many people you can help, how many individuals that you can help to change their life, and how you can do that. When you're talking to people, take the numbers out. Don't think about it that way, because it's going to put a stress on you that doesn't need to be there. And we get caught up on it. We get caught up in it. Kristen, you said that just before. We get caught up in the numbers, and sometimes I need to bring myself back to what is really important, especially in times where it's slow, especially in times where, it's the end of the month or the end of the week. You need to kind of just reality check yourself and say, what am I here? What is the purpose of what I'm doing? And when you know that, and you think of what the purpose is, and you really reach out to people with that mindset, here we go, and honesty inside, then that's when you're going to be flourishing and progressing and things like that. So in the video that I was watching, Anita's video about the attitude thing, she was saying, I guess her and her husband work the business together. She's a top coach, so I'm sure they do. She was saying that they have like communication time where they pick like an hour or two at night after the kids go to bed, so it's calm and quiet. They pour like a glass of wine, they sit on the couch, they put the TV on, and she's like, we act like we're hanging out with friends. Like the people that they're talking to online are like their friends, and like Kristen, when I'm talking to you online or on the Zoom calls for so long, like I didn't feel like I was working.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 weeks ago, we went like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was crazy because I didn't think did not think of it. Like, it doesn't feel like work
Right.
when you're enjoying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I used to be. I used to go until 2 a.m. talking to people, not about Beachbody, just building those relationships. And it wasn't because I was trying to build relationships. I mean, it was, but I wasn't thinking of it like that. Like, I need to sit here, drink my coffee, stay awake to talk to them. I just was having a good time. And once that stops happening, just stop. Take a break, take a step back, and just remember what we're here for. Remember what we're doing. Remember that this is all supposed to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your boss. You don't have a boss. You're your boss. So if you determine that at this moment, this isn't, you're not feeling it at this minute. You know, you just, you know what? I don't want to do it. I don't want to feel like force you guys to have to reach out to 7 people. You know, that I set that goal for the team cup today, like reach out to 7 people. That's a goal. I'm not telling you have to do it. I don't want anyone to feel like they couldn't do it, Ashley's gonna be mad or let down or something. Like, no, because I get things happen. I get that sometimes you're just not, it's not your day. Maybe, you know, you got hit traffic on the way home and you burned dinner and whatever. Like, we are real people and things happen.
I think that's the hardest thing that I have a hard time reaching out to people. I'm like, who am I supposed to reach out to? Like, even in the groups, I'm like, I don't know how to like randomly start, not randomly. I don't know. I'm not good at that. I don't know. That's why I'm like having a hard time adding people into my network, I think. I don't know.
Okay. So since it's very important, especially for like Team Cup, it's important all the time.
Yeah.
There's actually, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I saw today that there is, so changing topics now, something on Facebook they changed, and you can see kind of like highlights of 2015, but you can see it for everybody, and it's like however many, very crazy, because it's like, it seems like Beachbody got in there, but it was like, how many people did this person add to their network in the year? And today, during my crazy comparison rage, I clearly checked out every person, and some had a lot, but a lot of them were between like 50 and 100 for newer coaches, and then like 300 for established coaches, which makes sense because their network's already so big. And I'm not telling you this to brag. I saw this, and this actually made me feel a little bit better about myself. So maybe there was a reason I saw this. I had 957 people added to my network in this, since, I guess it was since January, because it said 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. It's not, you don't just click add.
No, I know. That's what I mean.
I know. Okay, so what I did took months. It wasn't overnight. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't, not this, take you and me out of it, but person A, person B, they don't know what that person did to get where they are, like the time that it took to get where they are, and the problems and struggles and failures. Like, the failing forward is such a appropriate term for Beachbody coaches. You fail forward, because it's like learning from mistakes takes a whole new meaning when you're a Beachbody coach. Finding moms pages was very easy for me because I had a newborn.
Yeah.
But even if I was in 10 moms pages, I'm making this up, there are 2 that I used, not for Facebook. I mean, not for Beachbody. Mm-hmm. There were 2 that I was an active member of. Mm-hmm. I also, which I forgot about this until today, before I started coaching, I actually I was an admin of a small but pretty active group. It was like, I want my pre-pregnancy body back. And it was for moms who had just had babies in May. We came from one of the big May 2014 moms pages. There was like 3,000. The one that I posted about where that girl went on a crazy rant about me recently. So that page, we kind of like came from there. A girl was doing it, and I was like, this is awesome. I joined it, and then I realized I didn't like that. I'm such a control freak. I didn't like how she was running it, so I offered to be an admin, and she was like, yeah, sure. So I just totally took control of it. And I basically started running a challenge group, and I would do challenges, and I would do recipes and things like that. That helped me, for sure. And that was before I was a coach. So I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't realize I was kind of like setting myself up for that. But Brittany Leggett, she a go-getter? I don't remember, but she is a very good coach. She might be 15-star now. Anyway, she did something similar, but intentionally. She was engaged. She's now married, but when she was engaged, she created a bride's page. It was not about fitness. It was not about... Oh, yeah? It was Addie. It was not about talking about Beachbody or anything. It was just to expand her network with people of like-minded interests and things like that. So I don't have time to do that now because I do so many groups already. But if I wasn't, and I was like in a situation where I was in January, February, I would do that. I would start a group with something that Cindy's doing it. Cindy, or maybe she just did a like page. I think she started a group for running because she's doing a marathon. So it doesn't have to be so obvious, like having a baby, getting married, doing a marathon. It doesn't have to be like that. It could be a book club.
I could do like working PA moms or something like that.
Absolutely. Because there's always something, and some people in general want to feel like they belong. They want to feel accepted. They want to feel like they're amongst people they relate with. So doing something like that, and it will take time to build up. I mean, the group that I did with the fitness thing truly didn't start to build up until August or definitely September, I would say. And then November, I kind of really tried to work Beachbody, so I wasn't as active in anymore. And then once I stopped, because I felt really bad, I felt like conflict of interest. Once I stopped, the group failed, but that's besides the point. You can definitely do that. I've seen people do book clubs. I've seen people do local meetups and like walking at the Wedge. I'm making this up, but I've seen people do groups like that, or a lot of people do stuff regarding faith. That's a big one. I don't go to church. I believe in stuff, but I don't go to church. That wouldn't be for me. But I know a lot of people do that, and that's like the most beautiful place to be accepted and feel wanted is church. So I think that's why there's so much circling around that and faith, because people want like-minded people. But yeah, definitely like working PA moms or
because I feel like I'm in the mom group, so then I feel like, I'll comment on things, but it's like never enough where I'm like, oh, I want to add this person as a friend and I feel like it's never to the point where I feel like I could add them without it being awkward.
It's always going to feel awkward.
Yeah.
It's always going to feel awkward. It still feels awkward to me. And I'm like a little piece inside of me is like, what if I feel like she's a stalker? She commented once and now she's stalking me. A little piece of me does feel that way. But it's not. And I'll tell you what, I don't do this. And I'm not saying that it's wrong by any means. It's probably the right thing you should do. I just don't right now. A lot of people, when someone's added to their network, they will send them a message. Just like, hey, how are you? Hope you're having a great summer. And that's it. There's a girl who's a coach, which is hilarious. This girl sat with me at Summit and next to me at Summit for 3 hours every day. And when we got back, she friended me, or I friended her. I don't remember. I think I friended her. And then she shot me a message and was like, hey girl, hope you're having a good summer and staying cool. And I was like, she's forming me. She doesn't realize I'm a coach. And so I was like, yeah, you too. Like, summer's great, definitely hot. And she responded with something that she was forming me. She had no idea. I guess she didn't look at my my Facebook, which I was like, well, there's your fail right there. But in all fairness, she's doing what you should do. And I just don't do it. I don't know why. I should do that. But it was an eye-opener for me because I was like, wow, not only is she adding people to her network, but she's immediately reaching out to them. And so me knowing who she was, I wasn't like, what is she doing? Like, she was just being friendly. And I think that's something that, oh, thank you, I struggle with. And a lot of people struggle with is that like awkwardness where in reality, it's just being friendly. And that's what they're going to see it as. They're not going to say, why is Kristen friending me and sending me a nice message? Like, no one's going to say that. But we still have those little insecurities that say this is weird for whatever reason. Anytime that you like something, like a girl the other day posted a picture that was like about breastfeeding and kind of controversial, but pro breastfeeding, and I liked it. It was in a mom's page. I liked it, and then I added her as a friend, and mostly because I wanted to see what the heck she was posting on her Facebook page, but because she had all these controversial things. I added her as a friend and commented on another picture that I thought was really great, and we have been doing like a little comment thing back and forth, and so that wouldn't have happened if I just liked her picture in the group. You know, it's like you have to take it that one step. I have not talked to her about Beachbody at all. For all I know, she doesn't even know I'm a Beachbody coach because it doesn't say it in my profile. I don't post pictures of, you know, anything that really says it. But eventually she'll know. Eventually she'll find out. So I think that's it too. And like staying away. I mean, I can do 10 calls on all this, but staying away from the instant, not that you are, because I know you're not, but staying away from the instant gratification mindset of, you know, I added 10 people. How come I have no increase in sales? I added so many people for months and didn't hit Success Club until January. And I signed up in October. Didn't hit Success Club. I think I sold one challenge pack in that entire time because I sucked. And I sucked at some parts, but I spent so much time adding to my network and talking with people. You find something that you can connect with them on and go from there. It doesn't have to be, you're so cute. It doesn't have to be forced. It doesn't have to be fake. It doesn't have to, if you feel like that's that gut check thing. If you feel like it's fake, you feel like you're forcing it, step away.
So funny.
That's a ham. Like she absolutely knows.
I love the faces that she's making.
Can I have a kiss? Oh, you just kiss that? Mwah! Maniac. I know you heard that. That wasn't my phone though. Sorry.
Wasn't me.
One of you ladies is screwing up my baby's brain.
That's so funny. She knows that noise.
Oh my God. She is going to be, we don't even, like, just right now, because after, I don't know, did you have any problems after the storm with your Wi-Fi and stuff?
No.
Okay. Ours has been horrific. So we're trying to figure out, do not press anything, what provider to go with. And, like, to get a new one. And because we don't have television right now, we don't use it, but it's like cheaper if you get, works out to be cheaper if you get something. So we're going to have TV, and I'm like scared now for her to be watching television because she's so obsessed with laptops and phones that I can't even imagine what's going to happen when this little rascal, oh, show your belly. Where's your belly?
Hi, Bella. Where's your belly button?
Oh, you say hi.
Hi, Bella.
Where is it?
Hi.
Oh, there it is.
She's so funny.
Yeah. Oh. Star of the show. Oh.
Oh my goodness. Daddy's going to love that.
Yeah. Okay.
She's so funny.
What
are you doing?
Why it's so hard for me to get things done because like I'm like, come on, and then she does something like this, and I'm like, okay, let's play. But yeah, so I would recommend. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that because it's still a little uncomfortable for me. But I've been doing it for, probably consistently for, what is it, August? Like 10 months, 9 months. So it's less awkward. But at first, I didn't have a Facebook for a long time. I didn't have one. I deleted it. Like I had one in college, and then I took a break for, I want to say over a year, and then reactivated it when I was in California because I wanted to keep in touch with my mom because she would never answer her phone. So I reactivated my Facebook for that. Then when I got pregnant, it was how people could like keep in contact with me because I was in California. But I only had like close friends and family.
Yeah.
When I started with this, and Jill was like, "Yeah, you have to build your network 3 to 5 people a day." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And Austin is like crazy security conscious from being in the Marine Corps, so that's like got in my brain too. So I was like, I'm not having a public profile. Like, hell no.
I know, mine's still not public.
The longest time I didn't. I made it public, and like within a week, someone shared one of my posts, one of my like motivational posts or something. They shared it to their page, and on my page, I got tons of likes from people that weren't my friends, but it was like their friends, not total strangers. And I was like, oh, that's why this makes sense. Because it just like opens things up, and the whole Facebook, I'm going to do a training on this. I just haven't yet. But the whole Facebook thing is crazy.
Mindy talked about it a little bit the other night on Tuesday.
Yeah, she did. She definitely talked about what was talked about at Summit, but not all of it. And since she's Mindy Wender, and she's been doing this for 6 years, and Facebook has obviously changed in 6 years, I think it's also good to have the perspective from someone who's new, like myself, because she already has her friends capped out. You can't like friend request her because it's like maxed out, you know? She already has a following. She's not struggling for likes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be good for me to do one too, because before having gone to Summit and got the little bit of training that we did, I kind of learned it from error, lots and lots of error. I'll tell you, I didn't know about the sharing thing when she was like, don't share.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I shared crap all the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang it. I think I shared something yesterday. Definitely did. I think once a day I share something. Yeah. So that was interesting. But yeah, we'll definitely, I'll do that. I would just suggest sticking with, 3 to 5 people is for people who want to work this business and do well and whatever. If you want to like catapult your business and turbocharge it, you want to be more than that. Mm-hmm. Much more than that. Like I would say for me, 12 is probably average. A day.
Wow.
If it's some days not. Like the other day Austin worked until like 10 p.m. and I was like, I got no one to my network. Nothing happened because that one day I didn't really work my business. That's the beauty of being your own boss. But I would say probably 12 is like an average. Some days I do a lot more. Some days I do nothing. So it is what it is. But sometimes I hit the jackpot. Like the other day I joined a group. Someone posted something about weight loss, and I commented, not about Beachbody, not about 21-day fix. And like they started just friend requesting me. And then from seeing my profile, they were like, girl, what do you do? And that's the importance, which you're doing great, but that's the importance of being consistent in your posts. Mm-hmm. Because if not, if someone needs to come to your page and say, if they don't say, this girl is going to help me, you're doing something wrong, And that's something that is part of the training that I'm working on that I was just talking about, the new training that I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm still learning. Like my cover photo right now is a picture I took when I lived in Brooklyn of a skyline that I thought was cool. And I've never changed my cover photo since 2012. Like I need to do that right now. So we all have our things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just suggest doing, if you want to start a group.
Maybe a group, yeah.
I think that would be really great. I saw a girl the other day in one of the moms' pages. She was like, would anyone want to read this book with me? And everyone was like, yeah, sure. And she started a group for it. And I was like, what the hell is this girl trying to sell? Like, she's not a Beachbody coach. She doesn't do the works thing or whatever it is. Like, what is she doing? She doesn't sell anything. She was just doing it for her own fun. But in my mind, I was like, genius. Like,
Yeah.
you must be trying to sell something.
Yeah.
But people actually do start groups just for starting a group. So people aren't going to read through you if you're doing it because you want to and because you have like that genuine desire to do it. If I have been reached out to by people who are trying to sell me something and they're opening line. I'm like, oh, like used car salesman. No offense to anyone that's a used car salesman, but you know what I'm saying. Like, so terrible. You need to work on that because it was so brutal. But if you have that just genuine, like, you're just being friendly, you're just saying hello, or you're starting conversation, you just say like, I kind of would like to talk to you. You seem cool, you know? No one's going to be like, what are you trying to sell me?
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I get it because I felt like that for a really long time. But time has proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Time has proven that, you know what, people are receptive to it. And something that I was listening to the other day, I can't remember who said it, but they were like, you know what, if you reach out to someone and they're not receptive and they're super negative, you don't want them anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Some people that I have made, because I am like, if you put an obstacle in my way, I want to get over it. So there's some people that I have like, not forced, but I have worked so hard and wound up getting them to be a challenger. And then throughout the challenge group, either they stop or they're miserable and I'm miserable. And I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Why am I stuck with them now? Like the way that you talk to them, they're not going to all of a sudden change and be pleasant and awesome in a challenge group. Like that's going to be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good depiction of kind of what you're going to be working with. And starting a group like that, I think you'll be able to attract people who you want to attract.
Mm-hmm.
In the video Minnie did the other day, she talks about Katie Hefner did a webinar on her perfect customer.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to think about who your perfect customer is. And that's who you want to attract. That's who you want to gravitate to. And that's who you want to gravitate to you. And then it's like branding yourself to have those people be gravitating towards you. And just being authentic, being real, sharing your story. The importance and power of sharing your story is incredible. And like, you don't have to have some crazy, like I kind of have a big weight loss transformation. You don't have to have that. There's so many coaches that don't have that. There's so many that have, you know, I just didn't feel comfortable in my skin. Or, you know, I know you said that you guys had been like not having the greatest eating habits and you wanted to make a change and didn't know where to start. Like that's your story.
Yeah.
And so.
And I feel like when I share it, that's when I get the most likes on my statuses.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's when people are like, oh my God, me too.
Yeah.
Like, I know what she's feeling because me too. And maybe they're not ready. And this is what I realized when I got a lot of likes. At first I would reach out to them. I'd be like, hey, are you interested? Like,
yeah.
And they'd be like, no, I was just giving your post some love because I feel that way too. And I was like, damn. But then I realized that those people are going to be the people that are following you. They relate with you. They want to follow you. They want to see what happens. And then 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 months down the road, they're like, please help me.
Yeah.
And then that's when you're like, you see the fruits of your labor come to fruition.
Yeah.
And it's a cool feeling. So it all just comes back to being open and consistent. And
speaking of the perfect customer, one of my customer leads answered me back, and she's 65.
Aw.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, she's cute, but I'm like, is she gonna want to do like a Facebook challenge group?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh.
So funny.
Sometimes I wish that they would like profile it better.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I got a 47-year-old Iranian man from Canada.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, who was like, I would really like to, I checked out your Facebook and I would really like to connect and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, goodbye.
That was one of your leads, your customer leads?
Yeah. He was doing like P90 and didn't want help, but he just wanted to stay in touch is what he said. So I was like,
You're like, I'm engaged.
Yeah, I was like, okay. He was married. His wife bought him the kit.
That's so funny.
Because it was under her information, and then this man emails me back, and I was like, how do I even know that? Because it was a different message.
Right.
I don't even think I responded. But yeah, sometimes I wish that they profiled it a little better.
Yeah.
Checked it out a little better, but
I got one too that was from and it's just all the contact information. All it said underneath was like, do not contact, do not contact, do not. Like she didn't put any of her information.
you know, you can contact them, Beachbody, and they will
Replace them.
Yeah, they'll help you out with that, because you should be able to speak with them and help.
That noise.
I don't know what that is, but I think that's all I want. I don't know. I wanted to talk about attitude, and we got talking about other things.
That's okay.
Pretty standard in my call. But yeah, so going forward, I think what we're gonna do is, if it's going to be, sometimes I know that I have like a webinar style, which I don't usually like to do webinars, but something long that I want to talk about. I will record it, and you guys can just listen to it on the free conference call, like Jillian used to do. She doesn't do them anymore on Mondays. I'll post the link, but if it's just going to be something not too crazy, what I'll do then is from 9 to 9:30 is going to be a Zoom call with myself and my personally sponsored coaches. And then from 9:30 to 10 or whatever, it's 10:06, so around, half an hour-ish, will be the recorded team call that anyone can come to from Team Ignite Your Life. You can come on as a Zoom person. You can come on as a phone. You can interrupt me. You can talk. Don't feel like it's just me talking to myself. But it will be recorded. I did figure out how to record on Zoom, which I was very happy about. It was not easy to do. But that's what we're going to do going forward. This way, it's a little bit more structured and makes me more structured, and I'll actually have something put together, each week for you guys. So that is that. Does anybody have, I don't even know if you guys, anyone on the phones, do you guys have questions? I'm going to say no. All right. Kristen, do you have questions before I wrap up?
I think I asked you enough questions earlier. I messaged you so many questions.
I love it though, because during the day is like when people, I'm going to just say this too. If you have questions for me, anybody, don't ever hesitate to shoot me a message. When I get back to you, I cannot promise it's going to be a certain time, but it will be within the day. But if you shoot me a message, this way, if you have it and you're like, I'm going to ask her, but it's too early or something like that, my Facebook message does not come up on my phone to interrupt me or anything. I have to go to it. So shoot me a message whenever you want, and then I will respond to you throughout the day, or usual night owl status sometime around 2 a.m. But either way, don't ever hesitate to ask questions. I love answering. If I don't know the answer, I love it, because then it forces me to research and learn more, because I want to learn as much as I can. Hello. And on that note, I'm going to go.
You show them how she says mama?
What?
You show them how she says mama?
Okay, so this is pretty funny. Kristen, you'll like this.
Hi, Austin. I want to tell Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
If
no,
we get
I'll
home
do
from work. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, hold on.
Sorry.
All right, so watch. Bella, can you say daddy?
Dad?
Yeah. Can you say daddy? Can you be shy? Can you say mommy? Okay, she's not doing it. I don't know what
It's
she's doing.
okay.
This
That's okay.
morning, it was so funny. This morning, she was like, Dad. So I was like, can you say mommy? And she's like, daddy. So it's
We
like,
all do that.
say more? Because she can say more. So she goes, more. And I said, can you say mommy? And she goes, daddy. Like, more should be harder than mom.
That's so funny.
So
Busting your chops.
yeah. So, all right. So next week, Kristen, you stay on. I'm going to end this one, though. Next week will be 9:30. I'll make a post about it or a video or something. But next week for everyone is going to be 9:30. And that let me see here. What am I doing? There we go. And for my personally sponsored coaches, it'll be 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. You'll still be on for the full half hour unless you need to jump off. The 9:30 to 10 o'clock is going to be recorded. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping in, and have an awesome Thursday.
Just me, my big face.
Excellent. Okay.
It's still recording, though, I think.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Is that okay?
No.